Hi, hello everyone. Hi Hill, happy to see ya. You're the first today. How are you doing? Hope you're doing alright. My face keeps going into random expression. Yes, I love you so much. Thank you for always being here, for always being with me. I don't know what I will do otherwise. Also, hi to everyone, DMG. Hi. Oh, patting on my nose. Hi Suna, Mapo. Happy to see you all. How you doing? Hi buddy. Hope you are all doing fantastic today. It is cold. It is real cold. And it's raining big here today. You know, it's the kind of day I will just like not get out of bed, just be a burrito all day. Can you imagine? Like wrapping around on the sheets. Stay indoors, Maple. Please don't get caught in the tempest. So, hello, Bonito. Oh my god, buddy, you've been called Bonito. Alright. So, today, and it is the only stream of the week because I got something to do on Thursday and it cannot be moved. It's kind of an important thing, so I won't be streaming that day. So instead, we got just today. So let's make the best out of it. Studying Mega Man Legends models. Oh, that's so cool. I've seen that video going around. Now let me see. Going here to the art scene. Getting Chatterina on top so I don't miss anything. And there we go. Here we are. Now let me check something real quick. Yeah, nothing about it, so okay. So first of all, I got a little bit of fever. Also, let me just move. There we go. And why am I so big? I don't know why am I so big. Hi Fastlo CX. I must. I don't know. This is so strange. I am very big, but also like.
Hey molegato.
Out of the
Lowpoly has a message for you. It says, "You're as big as Ayase's love for you."
Oh, thank you. Why is this? Let me go to studio mode for a sec. How is my avatar so big? It is the right size in here. So it must be this. I don't know. It did something weird. This always does something weird. I don't know why. Now, where is the avatar in here? So many things. I gotta clean up this thing in OBS. Layout, music reference, overlays. What the heck is the avatar? Background. I don't know. Well, it will have to be like this, I guess. The avatar is again doing the weird expression thing. I don't know. Also, please don't make me sad 90% of the time. I promise. Oh my god, what is that? I will have to tweak some things in here. I don't know why this was working, but it is not working correctly anymore. Let me see, maybe this. Oh, thank you, 12. I don't know, maybe. There we go. We'll see. We'll see if this works. Anyways, as I was saying, see this part in here, this jacket, I was told that to drop it from the design. Ow! Also, hi Dave! Sending you a big hug. Whoop! Let me do something real quick. Checking real quick. There we go, avatar. And this is not in the right position, should be here. There we go. I think the zoom kinda broke it. There we go. Alright. There we go. Oh, thank you for the streak, Suna. Why am I so to the side? There we go, better. Twitch wants you to share your chronic online less. Ain't that all of us? We just live online nowadays. How are you doing, Dave? I hope you are having a good day today. I hope you rested well and you can take it easy today and maybe do something you can enjoy. So as I was saying, like, we got to get rid of this one. It's a shame because I really liked how this turned out. So for now I will just like hide it, and we'll see if later if the commissioner wants it to be a toggle or something. We'll see. Because it will be kind of a shame to lose that element. In either case, now it is time to actually start unwrapping. And as you can see, we already got like a lot of it done already. Like there's some weird things like this go and whatever, but we got like the areas down. And the first thing I want to do is go with the face. The face is very important, so we will make sure that we got the right shape for it. And this texture is just going to be like our test to see that the texture is not being stretched.
Yo, Little Norwegian has got something to say. It goes. Shoutouts to TGC_Dave in chat. Triple A. AA. IIH. A. OL. WIG. YEOW. E. A.
Shootouts today. That way. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you can recover the test and take it again. Now when we get the texture to look correct, or as correct as we can, we will start painting. Let me see, I will move this over here. Hey, I'm getting microwave. How come? Double microwave? Oh my god. Today was the day. It did some weird interaction. Oh, I see. Yeah. I've never been like a fan of cheating in tests, but I understand where you are coming from. A lot of subjects are just hammered
Intercepted a transmission from Lowpoly that says this. You deserve to be cooked twice cause you're a warm treat.
Thank you. Alright, so we got everything more or less in place. We just need to paint the texture in the correct way, because this is certainly not the shape. So we'll do that. We'll just go and open a sprite.
Hey boss.
And work
Incoming
on it.
message from TGC_Dave. It reads. Twice baked molegato.
Twice baked molegato. By the way, did you see I added the molegato to the final rotation? It had to be there. Alright, so here we go. We got this texture with this test thin. And we just know that the eye should be a little bit higher, so we'll just start with that. And then I will load the reference in here so we can check it in real time. And get the right skin tone and everything. Let me see. Loading, and there we go. Okay, it is like a really interesting shape for the face. I will do one thing. I will like copy it, and then I will add a new layer that will be a reference. So we can kinda like center it around. And then maybe we can like lower the opacity. And it is around here more or less. We just want to have like a good reference. Counting the nose. There we go. So we just want like to know where the features are. And for that first I will like paint the whole thing. So now we can like add the eye in the correct position and the correct size, and it's like way smaller than I usually make, so I will like make it a bit bigger than in the reference. Something like this. There we go. Also, thank you for the streets, yeah. Hi, San. And thank you, Bird. Happy to see you here. We're going to refine the shape, I believe. Hey, I'm getting microwave again. Hi, Faber. Happy to see you here too. I will use this color for the eyelashes. Hey, oh, come on! I am getting coffee more than ever today. And ow! What is this combo? What's gotten into you today? You are all hyperactive today. Full of energy. Full of points.
Yo molegato, drink some water.
Combo. That is so... I love it. Drinking some water. I should add the hydrate animation back. Because I loved it. I kinda miss it. Hey, look at her go. I want to also work on a little something.
I've got a good joke for you.
Oh,
Once brown and sticky. A stick.
Ah.
I've got a good joke for you. What family does the zebra belong to? Can't say. None of the families in our neighborhood owns a zebra.
Oh my god. Jam, I am sorry. You might need an update. So the thing I was actually going to say is actually that I want to update the software I use for Jam. I've been meaning to for a long time, but I never get the time, you know. And I really wanted to be able to do some other things, like using 3D models instead of just textures, just sprites. Because I want to be able to swap customs. You know, like Jam has that summer outfit and the one that she took from Anne for the Halloween animation. I want her to be able to just wear them on the stream with a reading or something. I think that would be so cool and so fun. And thank you, buddy. She is a virus. But you know, she helps in here. Now, what's the shape of the eyelashes? They are pretty high and they are like double spikes. So something like this, and then something like this. Maybe? Then we can add some anti-alias in here. And don't worry too much about the tones because we will actually change all of them. There we go. Or I should be able to make match appear for some reading or something. That would be so fun. Or maybe she can be here for an April's Fool thing or something. Alright. You know what? I will do the skin color thing already. I think it's about time. So this is the normal tone. It is nuclear white. And then we also have like a shadow color pretty handy in here, which I will use for this one. And then we can use, like for the middle one, we can do the trick in which we just interpolate between the normal and the shadow. And this is pretty cool, although I'm thinking this needs to be a little bit stronger. But thank you for the streak, son. Thank you, babe. So I will make this slightly bit darker. There we go. And now we can add a little bit to this. There we go. Now we got a more distant shading in here. Hi Nidio, happy to see ya. Oh, thank you for the follow, 6-7. Oh my god, now I am young again. I said 6-7. Thank you for following, 6-7. You must be really, really famous. Everyone is talking about you lately. I am not a Lynx though. That will be so cool. I am A cat that acts as a mole. A mole cat, if you mind, if you will. I just like digging and mining for cool stuff in the Lowpoly mines. Now where does this come from? This is like the whole thing. Alright, so this is something like this. A little bit bigger. Does it come to the side a little bit? Yeah. So it's something like this. There we go. And now we add some more shading. A little bit darker. Yeah, something like this. And then an even darker and more purplish tone. There we go. Maybe not as purplish. Alright, alright. Now we're cooking. We can even add something like this. And make it even fit a little bit more. There we go. Hi, Brief Love. Welcome here. Welcome to the mines. I think this is like a cool shape. Oh, thank you, buddy, for the double bat. Triple pat? What kind of combo is this? Alright, alright. I kinda liked it more before. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. I actually haven't checked it yet. I've been really busy. I'm sorry. The art style in the thumbnail did look pretty interesting though. Very unique. Right, then we got like a very thin eyebrow. Something like this. Let me get this. Yeah. Something like this, yeah. Very simple shape for the eyebrow. We add a little bit more shadow on the lower part. Something like this. There we go. That's cool, that's cool. Alright, now about the eyes. I will do something similar to this one, just in the right color. And it's like a pretty cool blue color. I like this super saturated blue. It's my favorite color, to be honest. Go. But we may do something interesting because this actually has some teal in the bottom. So I will transform the lower part from darker to actually a highlight. And then maybe add some middle tone in here. Maybe even just a whole layer. And then get like darker. But you know what, I should add the shining here. So I really like making this kind of shine. Never know. Maybe we can even go a little bit darker here. We will iterate until we get something we like, is the thing. Maybe something like this. And there we go. Hell yeah, burn my bread. Maybe it should be a little bit wider, I'm thinking. Yeah, something like this. And then we add this over here. Alright, I think this is like a good eye shape. Now about the mouth is pretty much how it is right now, like won't be adding like a lot of changes. I'm just gonna make her smile a little bit. There we go. Now about the lips. Lips are very simple. And we got even some freckles. So we will add those two. How many? And where it goes? It goes all the way to the middle of the eye. And it goes to the bottom of the nose. So yeah, I think this is like a good amount. I don't hand the model to the commissioner. In fact, like most of the times, the model is for use as a VTuber avatar bird. So I also like completely rig it and make it compatible with DC Face and Binion. Alright. How come this is... Let me get this straight. Yeah, because this is like the middle pixel. There we go. Alright, so we got the face down, as well as the skin tones. Let's go back to Blender. And this of course doesn't look very well, because we need to actually check the UVs a little bit better. This needs to go higher. This needs to come a little bit like so. Same with this. Little bit lower. Alright. There we go. Thank you, Nidio. Alright. Not bad, but the nose needs something different. In fact, the whole head has a weird shape that we want to fix.
Yo molegato, drink some water.
You got it, 12-1. There we go. No, thank you for the follow, Partisol. Now I'm thinking we can maybe move the eyes like 2 pixels down. And maybe... yeah, all of these. Oh, thank you for the follow, Ultrasaid. Should be just 32. There we go. Thank you, bud. I love this bottle. I love this kind of bottle, to be honest. Now the UVs in here are a little bit wonky, though. Like, it does the weirdest thing with the texture. There we go. Why is it so deformed? Is the thing. Maybe I will need to actually add a cut in here so we can make this thing a little bit more 3D, because the nose is like getting in the middle of everything. This cut is the issue. I don't know, maybe we don't need it after all. Or you know what, we should do something like this. Because now we don't need this edge, and instead we got this whole loop for the face. And now we got like a more natural shape in here going on. Yeah, I like that. So now let's move the eyes. In fact, let's move the eyes and all of the freckles. Now the word freckles, it always reminds me of the Rurouni Kenshin opening, because for some reason that was the name it had in Stepmania, before I found out that the mangaka was an awful person, by the way. Oh, thank you, Partisol. Time zones really are difficult. It's like black magic. Everyone's living in an alternate dimension. Alright, let's see how's this now. Way better, way better. Now what we need is to maybe put the eyes a little bit closer to the center, I'm thinking. Or maybe that is something to do with UVs instead. Maybe I can just move this over here. There we go. Face is looking better already. Alright. Now we also need like a shadow for the nose. Maybe even some shading over here. Maybe something like this. I'm not sure, not sure. Let me check real quick, it should... be down 1 pixel. Yeah, this is way better already. There we go, we got the shape. This should come a little bit higher. The shine should be thinner too. Something like this. Yeah, way better already. Alright. Now maybe we need to knock this down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I think this looks way better already. We are doing a good job with the face. There we go. Alright. Maybe this needs to be a little bit thinner too. Alright, we got the shape down, which is great. So let's now work on the basic colors for the hair, just so it doesn't look so weird. And let me see, we got this brown, which I love, by the way. It's such a pretty color for hair. I love this kind of brown color. And I think I will, for now, just like add it in here. We can go back and add some more variations later, but for now I just want it to not look weird. So we just do this, and all of the hair is the same color. There we go. Alright, so next thing, super important, is the ears. Without the ears, the head looks off and weird. So let's see. Ears are the same color and they have a different inside. So let's actually unwrap them first. And I think what I will do is like move the camera this way so we can kind of have a good front view of them. And then we just where is it? Project from view, there we go. So we got like the whole shape for the ear. I will add it like over here, for example. In fact, we will get rid of this ear, we don't need it. She doesn't have it. So there we go. Alright, so I put it over here. And we'll make like the front on top and the back on the bottom. There we go. So we kind of both those shapes. And what I will do, and let's see if I do this right. If I go here to texture paint now, and I get like this. How do I do this? Airbrush maybe? Yeah, I kinda painted whole. And we get the shape. But I should do something like constant. There we go. Can even make it bigger. Because now we got the shape in here. And the cool thing is, I now save the image, come back to UV editing, and if I come back in here, I should be able to just there we go. We got the shapes, which is cool. Alright, so now we can just paint the details in. And I will pick this color and just make like a small shape in here. So we can see where this is. It's not bad, it should maybe stop going down over here or have a little bit more and go a little bit more to the right. Something like this, yeah. Something like this. Alright. So now that we got like this shape, I will like get it to make some interesting curves in here. First dragon with shading 3D pixeler. Soccer mission look really horrible with shading. Oh, you gotta use flat shading if you want to do this, because normal shading will just smear everything. You have to make sure that you make the right colors right in the texture, so that you don't depend on lighting, because lighting depends on a lot of things. You don't want to rely on it unless you really know what you're doing. Okay, so this will be like our darkest tone in here. And maybe here over this part we just kinda do this. Same with the bottom. And then we just kinda add a different, not as strong one. Something like this, maybe. Alright, let's see how this works. It's not bad. We should maybe keep this straight up. Oh yeah, then you got like half the job done without any lighting. If it helps, keep an eye on how I pick the tones for the models in here, because I do a very simple and easy trick that could help if you don't know about it yet. And that trick is that first you take the main tone and then you go darker and more saturated, both of them, and then you move towards this area in here in the color, but you cannot see it because of the trailer window. Let me see, how do I... yeah, no, this is not helping. Well, you move towards purplish blue in the hue bar. You make it a little bit towards that point. So the darker you go more towards darker blue, and the lighter you go towards yellow, only a little bit. So you don't just change the value, and you don't only change the... You recommend I use multiple layers? You can do that too, like having a multiply layer in purple and in low transparency can help too. I do that with illustration, but for pixel art I like to have more control over the tones I use. What is this?
Yo molegato, drink some water.
You got it, drinking water. Now let me see, I want to make sure that this coincides, and for some reason it doesn't. Is this because... no? This is the border, right? It should coincide, I don't know why it doesn't. Maybe it should fit, but for some reason everything is offset a little bit. Doesn't make much sense. Like if I do this, it does coincide. Oh, it's because this is actually 1 pixel down. The top and bottom layers don't coincide, which is totally okay because I need to add a shape over here. There we go. Something like this, maybe. And now this is good, this fits, but since it's got some angles, it deforms the texture a lot. So I need to actually take this down a little bit. So it kinda looks correct. There we go. Alright, same with this part. There we go. Alright, now we got the back of the ears, and it coincides with the front. So hi Dashi, thank you for the Twinkle command. Alright, we got the ears, except we need to actually add the shading in the inside part. I will however do one thing now, and is getting these two tones that we made and add them to our palette. There we go. Now we also have a shadow coloring here, and this one maybe we don't need to change. This one probably can work correctly, we just need like a middle tone to work with too. Maybe we have like the shaping here. And then we add like this middle tone. Hi Dream, happy to see ya. I don't like it this way. Maybe this is right. Maybe this looks nice. I think we added a cool shading for this. Alright. Looks nice. Maybe we should get the darkest a little bit more towards the ear because it's kinda covered already. Maybe something like this. Yeah, something like this, alright. Perfect, because the hair will cover most of it. Things are going okay, just working hard, trying to get things done in time. Time is always in short supply, I don't know why. Let me drink some extra water. There we go. Alright, so next thing, I think I will work on the hearts. Hi Snoopasta, I love your username. When did I start doing Lowpoly models? That is a very hard question to answer. Let me see. I started trying to do 3D when I was a teenager, like 20 years ago or so, but I didn't take it seriously. I was just playing with a piece of shareware that I got in a magazine called 3D Canvas. I really didn't know anything about it. I just like made primitives and stitched them together. I didn't even know you could modify vertexes in it. So I just like made a guy made of balls and stuff like that. I then like abandoned it for several years. Later on, when I was still using Game Maker Studio, and this was Game Maker Studio 6, I remember, because I started using Game Maker Studio 3.4a or something like that. That one didn't have support for 3D, but Game Maker Studio 6 did have some basic support. You could like make some primitives, you could import .obj models in it, And then I actually tried to make a model. I tried a little bit of modeling in a software, I think it was called 3D Wings or something like that. It was terrible, it was miserable, but I did a very bad model in it, but it worked. And I didn't know it yet, but that was low poly. I didn't even know the word. It was low poly because, you know, I didn't even know how to add more polygons than that. I guess that's when I actually started. I think this is similar color, it's not exactly the same. And you know, I really didn't get serious about it. I then started trying to make 3D models in different styles. And you know, eventually one day, and I actually have it in... Oh, thank you for following, Snoopasta. I one day was talking with a friend about a game that we wanted to work on together one day, and it was going to be like an action RPG thing. But we wanted to look at... Here's the funny thing, because we both knew RPG Maker. That's what we got to know each other about, RPG Maker, and we were like, what if we make 3D models that look kinda like the default characters in RPG Maker? And by then it was RPG Maker BX. So they were all blocky and very low resolution. So I tried to do that, and that's when I actually got the combination of low poly and pixel textures that I eventually refined into what you are seeing today. I made 4 or 5 characters. I should release them as an asset sometime because I did some cleanup. I did some setting up so anyone could use them. And they were like Alex the Adventurer, Brenda the Fighter, and stuff like that. And you know, I started taking commissions in DeviantArt out of that. Let me see, the whole horn should be this color for now. So we are starting to see things coalescing. This is starting to look a little bit like the character. And you know, at first I didn't get any. In fact, I was low-balling to a ridiculous degree. But someone was so kind that they just said, hey, I cannot pay for a commission right now, but I would very gladly do anything else you ask me to for it. And I said, hey, you know what? If you tell about other people and you get someone else to get a commission, I just make this one for free for you. And that's how I got my first commission in 3D models. Hi, developer. What a time. I made a bunch of them. I made like 300 or 400 of them over the years before I stopped making commissions and started working on games more seriously. Hi Aggie! Happy to see ya! How you doing? You're a cool dog. Hope you know. Oh my god, 15 kilometers. What are you on? I wish I had that kind of energy. Alright, got the horn. I think, let me check the reference real quick. We do have some lines in here, so I will make a pattern for the horn. Like maybe over here. There we go. And I just like do this thing and add one line. Something like this. And then like from the half down I make it darker, and then I do something like this. Yeah, this looks alright. Alright, cool. So I do something like this. There we go. Borg wafer, well, get. Hey, more power to you. You know, I really admire people that get to exercise. I know I don't have it in me. Alright, now for this I will try something. Let me see. I want to cut this way. I want to cut this way too. Then all of this also. And maybe this should be enough to unwrap the whole horn, and we'll see how this works. Hey, we got something in here that we shouldn't. Aha, here it is. The missing cut. There we go. Alright. So we do something like this, we kinda rotate it, and we'll see how to fit this, because it's a really tricky one. There we go. We didn't walk up mountains this time. Also, you did the other times, is what you're trying to say. Seriously, don't take your own merit from yourself and from what you're doing. You're talking about my friend in here. So let me see, let's try to do some manual cleanup. Like we do something like this. Something like this. And this, there we go. And it's a little bit weird because we got some trees from the in corner in the horn, but it will work out, you'll see. Eventually. Oh, thank you, Aggie. Those horns were a pain to model, but I am so proud of them. Now, this one is the real puzzle. Let me see. I will rotate it this way. And I will try to identify the faces. Alright. So what I will do first is do this. Alright. So this is over here. I want to kinda sew together the faces. So these two come together, alright. So this comes over here. Alright. So this comes in here. Alright, alright. And we just kinda make things fit a little bit. There we go. Alright, alright. Slowly getting things together is the thing. No, ain't this a jam of a song? To be honest, I also thought it was a ship because of the horn shape, because it really looked like a ram, but hey, a goat is cool too. Can't blame people for wanting to be the goat. Though you know Marina is the goat for all of us in here. Alright, so we got the horse in here, unwrapped. Took a while. This will work. Now we just need to make sure that the orientation is correct. But you know, this is the outside part. And I think the orientation is correct, alright. And this is the inside. And this one is not correct. This one is mirrored. There we go. Alright. So first we make it small. We probably want it to be way wider, something like this. And now, let me see, we got the height correctly. Like we do this. Whoops, didn't want to do this. This. And then all of these together. Alright, alright. This comes over here, we don't really need it. There we go. I think this looks pretty nice, all things considered. We can even change this a little bit so it looks a little bit different depending on the inside or the outside. Like we want all of these to be a little bit over here. but on the inside we want it to go way up. So we do something like this, maybe a little bit like this. There we go. Alright, not bad. Now we need to get rid of this deformation, which we'll do this way. Well, thank you for the follow, Frozenfiel. There we go. And this is like something that we need to do on a case-by-case basis. There we go. Well, thank you, Ambu, for the follow. Thank you so much. Hey, unless we are traveling in time, that shouldn't be possible. Though, to be honest, this song is actually a version of one for Sonic Heroes. So maybe they did have something in mind back then. I love this soundtrack though. Like, it is just so happy and so optimistic. Okay, we'll do one more thing with this one, and is to actually go here, make it like smaller on the shadow, and same with the inside part. There we go, something like this. Alright, so this way it looks a little bit more like you know, there is not as much shadow in the corner of it all. Same with this, actually. There we go. And in fact, I will like move this a little bit more over here. There we go. In fact, if I can do this, I can kinda get a spiky shape. So it's not bad. There we go. Oh, Frog Forest is so cool too. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Agi, in one thing though. Both Pokemon and Sonic have one very important thing in common, which is very talented team behind them. Very stingy company behind the developers. Hi QC, happy to see ya. What you doing? Because you know, it really shows when they get time and resources for their games. Like you can see Sonic Frontiers, how the beginning of it is amazing, is like contender to one of the best experiences for the very specific kind of game that it is, which is like an open world speed platformer. But as you progress through the game, it gets more and more rushed, and the final act is just terrible. And the story falls apart. And you can tell that that's because Sega just says, hey, that's enough expanding. Get the game finished already. And they just cannot, like, give it the extra bit of attention needed to polish the little raw corners. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like, they do that because Sega literally does that to them with the money and the time. That's true too. It's not pasta. It also happens, like for example with Pokemon, and this is an issue I have with them. They like generally, each Pokemon game is better than the last on a general scale. Like, if you average everything, it is better than the last. But they don't like make it like generally better in everything. They just make it better in some aspects and completely throw some lessons they learned in the past to the trash. Yeah, like on the DS it was way more noticeable. You know, like my favorite Pokemon game, Sun and Moon. Like, you see that and you say, like, you know, this game is probably one of the prettiest games in the console. No dispute. Also, way better interface, way better mechanics, lot of things, I love it. Then they go to Sword and Shield and they go, you know what? Let's add some really cool thing. Let's add like way more gym leaders with perfect designs. Let's add some open areas. Let's add all of this cool shit. Like the raids are so fun. But let's like make it run like molasses on the Switch for some reason. Let's make half the cutscenes just be a black screen, and then image comes back and things are done, and you didn't see any of it. And then they come with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and they go, you know what, let's make it an open world, and let's make the story super cool and heartfelt, and let's add all of these new mechanics that are pretty cool, and let's polish a lot of things and add a lot of side content. And I absolutely love that game. But they also like, let's not properly test it, let's not properly optimize it. Let's make it as rushed as possible. From what I've seen, and I didn't play CA yet, it's more of the same, it's in direction. Wasn't the whole city model thing just a misunderstanding of the source material, like it was supposed to be a prop? Scarlet and Violet are actually good games that were very poorly made. Like, it's in fact strong in the same areas that I love the most about Sun and Moon, like the story and the lore and how you get to explore some interesting places. They were just incredibly badly developed. I think they are still flat lit in that game. I mean, it's the 3DS. Like, they cannot make about a lot of lifting in there without performance issues. Yeah, exactly. But you know what I am incredibly surprised by? And you are absolutely going to believe it because it's perfectly on brand. But I'm playing Digimon Time Stranger. Let me tell you, it is a good Pokemon game. Like, not just a good Digimon game, not just a good RPG, it's a good Pokemon game. Like, it is more story focused and it is pretty good in the monster collecting thing. Like, it's even like a little bit like a random lock because you get to pick so many different Digimon, and the way Digivolution works, like it's almost like a surprise what you get every single time, and it's such a good feeling. And they also did this little thing with type affinities in which they mix the classic Digimon triangle with Shin Megami Tensei like weakness, and they just multiply each other, and it is just so cool. I don't know, I will shield for that Digimon game because Digimon games, like Sonic, like Pokemon, hit or miss. Some of them are fantastic, some of them are terrible. Some of them are fantastic with terrible parts. This one so far is just good. It's just nice. Alright, so we got the herbs down. I think it's time to actually... I don't know, let's check the reference real quick. Let's see what part I actually feel like making now. Maybe the hair, maybe a little bit of the body. Now, I think we will work on the head. It will look weird if the hair is flat shaded and doesn't have its thing. So let's do that. Okay, so we got the shade. We actually have it already because of the ear, which by the way I will desaturate a little bit. There we go. And then I will recalculate the middle tone. There we go. Alright, done this, let's go back to Blender and let's go to the hair model. And what I want to do is to actually get some basic shapes done that are similar to the reference. So let me open it for myself, for my own checking. And let me see, we got an extra spike on the side, so let's do that. Like just this. Something like this, and then this goes here. Comes a little bit inside, there we go. We don't need this anymore. And here's the thing, we can get this and we will unwrap it and we can start doing our usual tomfoolery in here. Because if you make the UVs small enough, you can just do like any effect you want. Like I can do this and this, and then we got like this spike in here, and then we can pick all of these and do the same thing. And it's such a cool trick. Also here, happy to see ya. I'm sorry I didn't say hi before. You're absolutely right, both of you, Bird and Dog. Especially when things are like heavy on story. And I was talking about it with Ayase lately about Lord of the Rings. Like they made amazing movie adaptations, which is something like the whole industry had been trying to do for decades. And you know, they could have just be happy and content with that. But instead they turned The Hobbit into 3 movies, even though it's a shorter story, and now they are making all sorts of weird spin-offs. And you know what, like that kinda sorts things a little bit for me. Like, it is such a good story, Lord of the Rings, and I think it deserves a little bit better. The stories are supposed to have a start and an end. They're not supposed to be franchises. Franchises? What do you pronounce that in English? Franchise? Yeah, exactly. Like, we got really good adaptations. And I don't think there is more to it. Like, they're just piecing together little scraps of lore just for the sake of making more because they think it will make them money. And it's sad. You know what they should have done instead? Like, try to make a good adaptation of The Witcher. I love the books. I haven't played the games, I hear they are pretty good. I like when they started making the show on Netflix, but then it went to shit. Because, hear me out, they didn't want to adapt the original source. They wanted to make their own thing. Why don't they make their own original fantasy story instead then? It's so weird. I don't know, I think it's with money, like it's only a matter of needing it if you don't have it. Once you have it, it's more of a weird ego thing. Like, that's why rich people buy so many yachts. Like, it's not just a way of... It's not that they like yachts. Like, they probably don't even go into them. It's both a status thing and a way to protect their assets, because instead of it being money, it's like an active. It's something that cannot be devalued as much. So at that point, it's not that they want the money, or they need it, or they want to do anything with it. At that point, money is more important than themselves. It's sad, but I think that's how it goes. I think it's probably brain chemistry. Like, we are not supposed to have really accountable resources. So people end up doing really weird things when they have a lot of money. Alright, and now I think I will like do another line here. A little bit shorter. I want to make a net Lowpoly again. You know what? There's no rules for that. As long as it's a power of 2, like, you can get away with anything. And if it isn't a power of 2, most engines transform it to power of 2 anyway, so just work with whatever resolution you are happy to work with. Maybe you want it to be really true to the specifications of a specific console, or maybe you just want a specific density, or maybe you just want to go to the microwave and get cooked like me. So you just do whatever comes better to you, because this is something we have to remember. Games are both technology and art, but we are not in it for the technology. We are in it for the art. So that's what we should really care about. Alright, so we got this. And at the end of the day, technology limiting our art is just a medium. It's just what happens. But we should only seek it if we think it will make something interesting for us. Not to actually limit ourselves. Alright, so we get some hair strands like this. Maybe I will even duplicate these three. And just make another strand that goes in a different direction. There we go. Cool. As for the back is the most important part in here. I think it's got the most detail. Let me think, let me get a good look at the reference. Like, okay, want to hear an actual real case about optimization in a Lowpoly game? Froggen, you know Froggen? You know the stages? They are made of cubes. Some of them are not actual cubes, they are just cubic shapes, but they are actually like columns and whatnot. A lot of indentations. The thing is, that's not the most performant thing. Like, there was a lot of hidden geometry at first, so even though the game was low poly, it was super slow. And what I did actually is to first make some code that would hide every single cube that was completely obscured by every other cube, like just like the feeling of the big areas, so they will all be hollow. And then also it will like merge all of the geometry. At first it was in a single mesh, but then it will quickly become a super big mesh with a lot of polygons. So what I did was dividing it in chunks, like in Minecraft, and merging the models into chunks that were like 16 by 16 by 16 blocks. You cannot count on occlusion cooling, because for one, like, every game is different, every camera is different, so occlusion cooling sometimes doesn't work as better as it should, especially the one that comes inside of it. But also, if you really want to optimize, you don't want to offset the work charge to the occlusion cooling code, because if you have a lot of unnecessary things, you are just making the occlusion cooling code be the one that has to work real hard. So you want to make things easy for occlusion cooling, and then occlusion cooling to pick up the remaining pieces. Now, checking the back of the hair, we got a lot of little hair spikes, so I will actually add some cool shapes in here. Like I will do this to have a wavy pattern thing, and then we got something like this, and then this can move up. And we can even add an extra loop in here for extra detail. There we go. So we can do something like this. And we got some cool shapes. Slowly fading as we go to the top. And then we got like this spike over here. There we go. Same with this. So we can do stuff like this and get cool shapes. There we go. Hi Kalolish! And yeah, definitely bad code is what impacts games the most. Because you know, when you are working with an engine, like all of the low level stuff, it's already taken care of for you. You cannot like make a terrible occlusion cooling code because the game already has one, the game engine already has one. But also, you can really fuck up some other things. Like maybe you can make your character do an incredibly stupid amount of raycast per frame. Or you can like scroll through all of the enemies every single time you want to hit one. Or stuff like that. There is a trap to fall into with optimization, which is that you test it at first and it works and it's performant because there is so little in it, but as you go on, the same level gets filled with more and more things and more systems and more items, and suddenly things that worked well before no longer work, and you are like, what the fuck, what did broke? Nothing broke, you just didn't have as much to do at once before, and now you do. Alright, so we got these, we got cool shapes. For the hair, maybe we need another spike over here. I will probably just extrude this one. There we go. We can do something like this to make it a little bit rounder. There we go, cool shapes, cool spiky shapes, and we got like a lot of polygons, but also it looks pretty cool. It also happens a lot. You know what? I've been actually thinking about making a horror game for quite a while. I just
got a
just
message
don't
from
know
our pal
when
TGC_Dave. They say the following. The other day my card was declined at a sweater store. So they asked for my cardigan.
Oh my god. That's a good one. I will give you credit for that. Alright, so now we will actually start to add some shading to the back, and I think I will like get out of this to move to the darker tone. So now I can actually get these darker faces and just make them the even darker tone.
Yo molegato, drink some water.
Thank you, Suna. So yeah, I've been meaning to work on a horror game just for fun sometime. And you know, I've been talking with little Norwegians about it a little bit. I've been taking notes. But I don't know when I will be able to do that, because I cannot physically work on as many things at once. I got so busy with Twinkle. Which, by the way, I am working on polishing and stuff, so maybe a demo is closer than expected, or at least being able to make the demo.
Yo, TGC_Dave has got something to say. It goes. How much does a rainbow weigh? Not much. It's pretty light.
Oh my god. It is pretty light. Alright, and we do this too. And this is the side we want to be darker. There we go. Maybe something like this, yeah. No, we can even add some highlights. Like if I pick this, or actually let me try something. If I come here and I add like this area, and this is, you know, this is the normal hair color, and I go and pick this highlight color, And maybe I add some variations of highlight. Something like this. I see chat is as spicy as it can get. I didn't know the creator had those ties, to be honest. Such a sad thing to learn. So thank you for bringing it up. Something like this. So we have a little bit more of noise and variation. Alright, and now I think I want to add like a middle tone for anti-aliasing. Something like this. Does EV stretch matter in Lowpoly? It depends on what you are going for. I actually try to make things stretch only when I want to, like when I want to do something on purpose. If you are going for a more of a Nintendo 64 style model, you can get away with a little bit more stretching because of the bilinear interpolation. But it all really depends on what you're going for. Okay, so we got this nice band of hair color. Just making it a little bit extra tight. That's it. There we go. And now we can actually add like some shining here. Maybe at this point. All right. And we find where we want things to go. Alright, so this is the middle, so I will add it over here. Maybe something like this. Maybe something like this, I don't know. This kind of works already, it's pretty cool. We can add it to other parts of the hair, but we will do that later when we actually have the asymmetrical shapes. Alright. So I think at this point I will get the armature. And we will add some bones for the hair. Like one that goes over here. There's something like this. Wait, did we add it already? Maybe we did. No, we didn't, because we got the physics ones already. Hair 1. Hair 2. And hair 3. There we go. And all of these bones, they go to physics. There we go. So we do this. And then we go to wave paint. And we start painting. We'll probably add even more bones to this because we got all of the other parts of the hair. But I want the most important parts to be, already painted over. So we got this part. Hiding some bones that we don't really want. So it's a bit easier to work with this. Oh, I am sorry that one. I hope you are okay. Right, so maybe we do something like this. And we add like a teeny little bit of weighting here. There we go. Something like this. Let's see how this works. Like, if I rotate this, it kinda works. There we go. Alright, so now we want to actually add even more bonds to this for the strand synthesize. Let me see, I add a bond in here. And this one is this part of the hair. So we do something like this. And we'll call this hair side front dot L. This one's 2, and this one is 3, and all of this is physics, and all of this is symmetrized. And now we also need one for the one in the back. So I will move this over here. Supposed to start over here, maybe. There we go. This is parented to the head too. And this is hair side back. Hi Scott! Happy to see ya! How you doing today? What was the texture size you used the most in Frontend? That is a hard question because it really depended on what I wanted to do. Like, I think Renata was 128 for the body and 64 for the head, or maybe twice. I think it was twice that. Thank you, buddy. But you know, tiles were 64 by 64 in a big grid.
Yo molegato, drink some water.
Drinking some water. Enemies, usually I could get away with half of Renata's texture. Some hats were atlased in a big texture, some of them were not. It really depended on the case, to be honest. This is 2, and this is 3. All of this is physics, and all of this should be symmetrized. There we go. Alright, so now I can again do the anti-ropes thing, and I can start painting weights again. and I will like hide some bones to make it a little bit easier.
Let's look at the fun.
Alright. Get rid of the head so I can see what's going on. There we go. Alright. Adding a little bit of extra weight in here to make things a little bit smoother. There we go. So now if I move this bone, I can kinda see it already working.
This is most disturbing.
There we go. A little bit in here. There we go, alright. The most thing that needed optimization, definitely code, like absolutely code. As I stated before, like if you go for low poly and you go for modern end computers, graphics usually are not the problem. Like if graphics are the problem, it is because you needed to do something differently. And the code is of course code. Like for example, one thing that was taking a lot of memory and made things very slow was the drop shadows on the coins. And you know, most engines comes with one or another way to implement drop shadows, and those are supposed to be more performant than normal shadows, right? They are simplified, they should be way more performant, they are not. They use a projector, they are actually updating a mesh all the time. It's weird. It's poorly optimized. Projectors stopped being necessary for shadows a long time ago on most games, and so as a result, games started to think about them for other things, like a flashlight or something like that. And so they started adding like cooler effects and way smoother things, but you know, it is not made to have like 300 of them updating both on and off camera. So what I had to do is I coded my own drop shadow code that actually created a quad and made a raycast and made the quad place, and then it stopped doing raycast until the object was moved, and then it was only updating every few frames. And you know, the shadows ended up looking a little bit worse because, you know, they are an actual quad, they are not projecting, but also they stopped doing something really annoying, which was the shadow going past the floor and onto other geometry. So the drop shadow for coins and items in Froggen is a little bit jittery because it's highly optimized. Because the normal blob shadow will totally crash the game on several levels. Alright. Same one I'm using with Twinkle, but it's way better now, by the way. I just kept improving on it instead of coding a new one. Alright, so we got the hair down, at least for the symmetrical parts. So it is time for us to come here, apply the mirror modifier, and start working on the asymmetrical parts. Let me see. We got let's see. This one comes a little bit over here. And this one comes a little bit like this, and a little bit up. So it's kind of a rounder shape. There we go. We got this cool rounded shape. This can come a little bit like this. Oops. A little bit over here. So I can add this and go here, and these two can be merged together. Alright, and that means I can get rid of this one. So we get a quad. Oh wait, they actually kinda need it. I need it because this is the one I should get rid of. There we go. So now this one is the one we can shade. There we go. This one should be like full. There we go. So we got this cool shadow in here. Next we got the other side, and the other side does this twirl to the front. And it is kinda in two parts, so we will separate it soon. Let me think about the topology first. Because this one goes a little bit over here. Yeah, it does something like this. So I get all of these faces, extrude forward, there we go. I should at some point, I should actually do something similar at some point. I just cannot really find the time to make tutorials, I wish. Life is so busy, I don't know why. It didn't used to be this way. So this comes over here. Alright. So we got this shape. And I will like merge some things in it. And then I will get some of these and extrude again. Alright, and we got a better shape already. Oh, thank you for the raid, Phantom! How's it going? What you doing? Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, raiders! How's it going, Phantom? We should get better about shoutouts. I forget most of the time. I'm doing fine. I am starting to feel my throat a little bit sore because I am not used to speaking for hours. But I am drinking water and hydrating. That fixes everything. Thank you so much for asking. Alright, got this shape down. Now comes the fun part. I want to make a cut in here. Get rid of this face. And now with this I can actually start getting the hair. But first I will start with this part, because I do something like this. There we go. And then I can add like a few spikes. Like this. And I add like a little bit of volume. I love this song, by the way. Take me back in time to another world. Don't have to worry. It's so good. Such a good song. I'm thinking I will like do it the opposite way. Like this one coming on top of the other. Makes more sense for the border. Meeting, stream. Thank you so much, Phantom. I hope the meeting goes absolutely well. I will move this a little bit up. There we go. I'm thinking, yeah, I can make another spike in here. And this one I can probably like subdivide. We can like move this way back. Like all of this doesn't have to go as forward as it goes. There we go. And now the front one, it kinda, let me see, goes over here. Yay, I love this song. He's so happy. Alright, no, I don't like how this part works with this super stretched triangle. I will add this so I can actually get a little bit of control over it. Same with this. There we go. More control over the faces. My eyes look shinier than usual. I did add a better shine when I remade the avatar. I think it helps a little bit with how the eye bags are more prominent now, like it doesn't look too depressive. Okay, so this one I will split. So I can have this. Alright, not bad, but this should be way longer, actually. So I'm thinking I will add a subdivision, actually. There we go. And there we go. Alright, and now that we got the shape, we can actually start texturing. So let's go back in here. And let's see, we got this part in here. So we need something similar to this, but with the other tone. Probably pure white for this one. There we go. Maybe? Let's see. So what I will do now is like pick all of this. All of the parts that could eventually have like some shine in them. I will... Let's see, what is this? Project from here, there we go. Wait a second, this shouldn't be in here. Alright. Now I will kinda place them. It does look a little bit like a sound wave. I want this to be like a border. There we go. And I just kinda set it up so that it looks okay-ish. I don't have to worry about the faces that are completely out. I will make them a single color afterwards. Alright. There we go. Alright, there we go. This part looks a little bit deformed though, and I think it's because having a middle cut will help a lot. There we go. So I can do actually this. There we go. And there we go. Okay, not bad. Okay, so now have a fantastic rest of the day, okay? Hope to see what you're working on later if it's something cool that you want to share. Also, thank you, Fallow. I have made music in the past, just not very good one. Like my very old project called Lone Siren. For that one I made the music myself. And it's just like ambiental things with a bunch of you know, wind chimes and stuff like that. But I am very proud because I did it. Now all of these I will just move to the darker tone. And for this I will add an edge. There we go. There we go. And out of this I will just move in here and add some shadows and highlights. Group speed? You are really reaching new quotes with those jokes and expressions, buddy. So jealous of your big brain, big raccoon brain. So I will do something like this. And then for this I will do something like this. The Sonic R soundtrack. It never fails. Living in the city is so good too. There we go. And same with this part. And to think that back in today, it got bad reviews because of the music, it's insane. I can only imagine that, much like it happens now, video game press was just bullshit. And they just say whatever they thought will be the consensus, so nobody will argue with them, because they were considered the authority in it anyway. Go. And now the most important part is we get out of this. And we just do this. There we go. And out of this, and we just do this. And so we got like some cool little shines. I'm thinking maybe we can also even do this. Something like this. So we got some extra shine in there. And I think with this we got the hair mostly done. We had to add a few details like the extra bit of hair that goes up, the little blue band. So let's do that and maybe we'll call it a day after that. Alright, so let's see. We got the blue. And we are going to add... Let me check in Blender what's our topology like. Yeah, it's not actually bad. Actually, we can make it work. I wonder if we use this whole thing, will it be enough? Will it look nice? We'll see. So I will add the hairband in here and just add like a border. There we go. And if I pick all of these, of course it doesn't fit with that part of the hair, so we will actually have to tweak some things. So we do something like this. There we go. Maybe we do something like this. Hey, come on. Why can't you cut this? There we go. Yeah, something like this. And I will do the same thing in this side. So we have an actual round shape in here. And we'll get an actual band shape too. There we go, not bad. Alright, alright. And we kinda just plop it in here. And just try to make it fit the texture as much as we can. And maybe in the bottom part we can just give priority to the bottom. There we go. Alright, I think this works. Cool. No, we just need to make sure that this actually goes over it. Like in the reference. And maybe we can even make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Alright. Looking better as we go. Making sure we don't cover too much of the eyes with the hair. Hi, Mr. Human. Thank you. You are free to hang around and try to learn tricks as we go. I think that's the best way of learning things. Alright, we got this. So let me see, what's next? We got actually a bit of hair coming down from here, coming up. So what I will do is just extrude this and transform this into a triangle. You are not using any shading in the game. You mean in Twinkle? I do have some shading. I made a custom shader that is mostly flat but then has some cell shading and also some ring lights. And as for the series, it is actually normally shaded just with a very high ambient light. Because that's the key for a smooth shading if you don't want like very strong shadows. And it also has some effects like the glint and stuff like that. That is all in a custom shader that I slowly update as we go.
Yo molegato, drink some water.
Oh hi nigga, happy to see ya, how are you doing? I hope you are having a fantastic day. But this one is this color. There we go. And what else? We got a bow that goes in the back. It goes over here. So I will duplicate this. Is it based on toon shading? I don't really understand the question. It is toon looking. There is no such thing as a toon shading that you can base things off. That is kind of an umbrella term for any shader that looks like a cartoon. Let me see, what is this? Yeah. Oh yeah, you mean the one made in Blender, the the 21 in Blender. It's not based on it, but it works in a similar way, which is having a color ramp affecting the shadow. But it's a very common way of doing that. Let's try to do this. And I want it to be like kinda fluffy, so I will do something like this. And then add these cuts in here. There we go. And we got the shape in here already. And I think I will even add another cut just to do this. So we get a more bow shape. Which I think fits very much. So now we go to a sprite and let's texture the bow. And I will pick the color from here, which is easier to grab. And we don't need like to texture the whole thing. We can just like texture the knot part. Something like this. Is he gonna have play control F? Yeah, because that's what the character I'm making. Like, if I get a commission for a character and the character has wings, I gotta make a character with wings. If they commission a character and the character has huge bathongas, I make huge bathongas. Simple as that. I am a professional after that, after all. Jokes aside, we gotta remember that big chest size is also a normal thing that happens, like it's just another body shape that people have. So it doesn't even have to be about fan service if it happens. So we got the knot part, and I will make the other part a bit simpler. Like it will be this rectangle thing. And it has this on one side. And then it kinda goes and does something like this. Alright. Then I kinda do something like this. I think this works. And I will just make a filling for the side. There we go, something like this. This works. And you'll see how this works in just a second. So I come back in here. And I will, first of all, get this part. Project from view. And in fact, here I need to add a subdivision, make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Let me see. There we go. Now this is what I want to do. Frogan did said well, like it's not like I became an indie darling or anything, but at least I've been able to live off it. Texturing on the texture is the way to go. Like, I don't know what you think texturing works on, looks like on games, but that's how it's done. Like, if you find someone who textures on the model, like, that is like a tool designed to make things. Yeah, but you understand that that's an abstraction, right? Like, you are actually drawing on the texture, but the program is using the model to project it in the texture. At the end of the day, it's all the texture. For pixel art, in fact, it's way easier to paint on the texture than the model, because you get less artifacts. Exactly what you said, human. That is the way it works. But for pixel art, it can be very useful to paint directly on the texture, because you don't get any of the deformations. Let me see, I will also pick this and project from view, because I want to do something cool in here. Like, see if I do this, And then I do this. There we go. And I kinda make it coincide. And then I get all of this. And do this. I can kinda get all of this to be just one square, and I only need to paint once, which is what we did in the texture.
Yo molegato, drink some water.
You got it, buddy, drinking some water. Alright. So we got this, and I can like kinda make it coincide. It deforms a little, we don't really mind. Remove this half a pixel down. In fact, I will make it go like this. There we go. Because now if I pick all of these faces, which is the side, I can just come here and I can just make it work. There we go. And we got like the inside too. There we go. Hi Assad! Happy to see ya. Now what I will do is go back to a sprite and actually get rid of this because we don't really need it. There we go. And so we got a big bow in here. And with this, I think we are done for today. Like if we go to solid mode and we unhide everything, we got the whole model for the body, but just untextured, and we got the head textured actually. So this was a good stream. That was good work today. We got the hair, we got the shines, we got the horns, the bow. I think we can be proud of today's work. I am not using a smooth shading because I want the model to be unlit and I want the texture to have pixels. That is my style. If I use the smooth shading, it would look all blurry and ugly. It is a different look and it will need different textures made in a different way. But I am proud of this. I think we can be proud of today's work. Even if I only get to stream once this week, we did a lot of work today. So maybe next week I can actually texture the body. This fax really. Ay, thank you, Aggie. You're all amazing. I hope you know. DNG is another regular here, part of the community, a dear friend. By the way, for everyone in here that is new, that is not so often in here, we got a Discord community where we all hang out and have fun and show our work, and it's such a chill place to be. Consider following or joining if you want to have a little bit of fun interacting in there. That said, let's actually go back to the just chatting scene for a sec. There we go. I want to thank you all for being here with me today. It really has been a lot of fun. I am always thankful for that. And today I think we are going to raid. And we are going with Zoe today because it's not often that we go inside. So everyone, thank you for coming in here today. I will never thank you enough for that. And let's say hi to Don Queen. And have a fantastic time in there. Okay? See you next week. See you in the Discord. Bye!